Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to the Cool Down iRacing series in the Street Stocks. Once again, we're back in Street Stocks, and we're in season number 3 because we had 2 seasons during that time in the spring that may or may not have been COVID related. It was an amazing couple seasons there, but we actually ended up going racing in the summer, and some of the drivers that you're going to see in tonight's race had the opportunity to race throughout the later summer into July, where a lot of the races in the Northwestern Ontario, Manitoba region occurred from July onwards. So it was really nice to be able to get some seat time for new drivers and veteran drivers. We had an amazing season throughout the area of tracks that were able to run. But it's getting cold out there again. Actually, it's gotten warmer. It was quite cold in October, but it's actually been really warm this week in this region. But of course, winter's coming. Racing season's over in this area. So we're back on the iRacing circuit. We're going to get started right away here, a lot faster than we have in the past. Usually there was about a 10-minute practice when we started going live. And this time we're going to go straight into the heats. And we have about 19 or 20 entries right now for tonight's races. I'm just going to set up the grid here. So we have, in the first heat, we have the number 16 of BRYAN DORGE. In the outside front row, we're going to have the number 33 of SHAWN, who's back once again. Inside second row is the number 48 of JEROME, GUYOT. On the outside second row is the number 7 of Bailey Cousins, Patrick Davis. In the number, it says 001 here. I don't know if he's got the number 10 on there or not. He's normally number 10, but we have a number 10 already. He will be in the second heat. Patrick Davis. The number 19 is Max Wozni in the 6th starting position. Another new driver to our iRacing series, Tony Bachhoven, in the number 10. So 7 cars in heat number 1. And we got them doing their pace laps out there. 8 laps for your heat race number 1 of season number 3 on the Cool Down iRacing series. With a total of 7 cars in heat number 1. Green flag. Fan this out a little bit here. Number 16 of BRYAN DORGE, your early leader. All the 7 gets into the wall and into the side of the 19. Caution is out. Caution out, looking like the number 7 of Bailey Cousins. And that is not something that happens often. For the number 7 of Bailey Cousins, usually a competitive driver, not getting into too many incidents, is a feature winner a couple times in our first 2 seasons earlier this year. And taking a look at the replay there, yeah, it looks like he came out of the corner a little too hard, got involved with, oh no, someone else got a little too high and got involved with the number 7. Back up once again. Yeah, really tough deal. Whoa, that was a hard hit to the outside wall, and then someone that looked like the blue car there almost rolled him right over, causing not a nice accident. I mean, are there any nice accidents? I don't think there's any nice accidents, but well, Bailey Cousins will be going to the end of the line for that, so it was the fault of Bailey Cousins coming out of that corner. All right, the front row's not going to change on this restart here. And we're going to go green flag. Number 16 to the inside, crossing on the outside. Gale's going to do a slide job here. All the way to the outside wall, trying to gain the second position. Oh, it is tough to be on that outside wall right now. Claussen's still on the outside. Guyot's lost a couple to 0-0-1, and Patrick Davis has gone sideways out of turn number 4. Cautions out once again. Probably going to be on the 0-0-1 of Patrick Davis. Just got a clip of him at the end of the field. Gone sideways, so my expectation would be he will go at the end of the longest line. Not a good start for the number 0-0-1. Oh, looks like the blue car at the back there got into the 0-0-1. I kind of missed the end of that. So seeing that, a few different perspectives on that. Yeah, looks like the 0-0-1, there was nothing the 0-0-1 could do. And Tony Bachhoven, whose first race on cool down, is going to go to the end of that. All I saw originally was the 0-0-1, but yep, it looks like he was tagged on the left rear tire. Put out of position, so Patrick Davis is going to get his spot. The 19's front bumper not looking so hot right now, and Max Wozni. Now the top three are going to be inverted into the A main. And then I'm not quite sure if we're having a B main for sure. Yeah, it looks like it. And main's going to determine the lineup after the top three in each heat. So top 9 are going to transfer within that top 9. And then 10th on back. Or are we taking top 4? Top 4 are going to transfer, so we'll take on... We're going to restart green here, so that would be 12 cars are going to go straight into the A main. Top 3 are going to be inverted from each one. Brian DORGE with the lead once again. 3-wide battle with the 48, 33, and 19. Slide job. That's going to push Klassen back into a battle for 3rd and 4th. Max Wozni on the very inside. A couple laps to go. For the 16. He's got a sizable lead now. Still a battle for 3rd there with Wozni and Klassen. Top 4 transfers, so those 4 cars should be going straight to the A main, while the battle for 5th and 6th with the 10 and the 0-0-1 are going to determine who's going to line up on the front row. So the 5th place car, the outfield of 10 almost loses it. Almost gets into the 0-0-1. One lap to go, and heat number 1. Guyot's into the wall, but he's gaining a ton of momentum on the outside. Pretty common trend when we're at this track, that outside you can bounce off that wall quite a bit. Still in the shot to see if Guyot's going to gain enough speed in turn 3 and 4 to make it work, and it's not looking like he's going to make it happen. Brian DORGE is going to be your heat race number 1 winner, but a really good run by Guyot at the end there. I'm trying to gain him, but he needed that a little bit earlier. And we're going to take a look at our lineup for heat number 2. Heat number 2 coming to grid is going to be the number 99 of Don Ashton. On the outside front row is Gareth SENKOW in the 43, the drag racer who got to go drag racing this summer. He's been learning how to turn left on iRacing in 2020 and has improved. I would say if we gave him an award for most improved driver on iRacing, Gareth SENKOW would be one of those drivers to be in the hunt for that. So welcoming Gareth SENKOW back once again. Dave Gerling's going to be starting on the inside, second row in the number 1. Chris Peters in the 23 on the outside, second row. On the third row inside, we got the number 88 of Brendan Westover. And we have Nick Lenert in the 6th starting position in car number 75. So I want to welcome Nick Lenert for coming on to the Cool Down iRacing Street Stock Series tonight. So 6 cars are going to start heat number 2. We'll see how this one turns out compared to the first one that had a couple incidences. Is it incidences or incidents? I'm just learning this stuff. Words. It's hard. And we'll see what happens here on this one. We have some good veteran president, Dave Gerling, who's been a top runner very early in feature races we've had, but has had a tough time sealing the deal on a consistent basis. But he's going to be starting them off in heat number 2. Green flag for the number 1 and 43. Oh, a cut to the inside for the 1 and 43. All the way back up. Really, from bottom to the top, back to the bottom again. 43 on the outside, battling with the 1. Side by side, first 2 rows, still side by side. Lap number 1 into turn number 1. Number 1 gaining it on the inside of the corner, but 43 is going to have the momentum coming out onto the front stretch. Gaining a ton of momentum. Gerling is falling back to third. The 23 now. The 23 battling for second spot with Dave Gerling. 23 of Chris Peters now moves into the second position. And the 43 still with the lead. 43 in the lead, but being challenged. Oh, we got a situation here. Dave Gerling into the side of the 88. I think the 88 might have been fairly stable in his line. And just a little bit of a rise up towards the back stretch there. Involving number 8 of Dave Gerling. Pretty common theme, unfortunate for the number 1. Always seeming to be in a bad place. And just not being able to close a deal. However, I think he's won 2 B main races, so if he isn't able to get in the top 4 out of the 6 here, you're going to see him do really well in the B mains. We've seen Dave Gerling do an excellent job in B mains, making it into the feature. So the 43 in the lead of this heat. We're halfway, about halfway done. Brendan Westover is going to go to the back of the field for this caution. Want to thank you for joining us on the YouTube channel. We got quite a few viewers on the YouTube channel, so I want to thank you for joining us on race number 1 at Eldora for the Cool Down iRacing Street Stock Series. Now, these guys have been actually trying to race some of the other classes on Sundays. We haven't been broadcasting it because we want to see an improvement in the quality of the driving out there. I heard it went not too bad, but the B-main was a bit of a disaster. So we hope at some point that as these drivers gain experience that we'll be able to see them in some of the other classes. We got green flag, single file restart. The 88 goes because it was green flag. He's all the way under third already. But it's the number 43 in the lead, battling with the 23 of Chris Peters. Chris Peters on the inside. On the inside of turn number 3 or 4. He's going to have a bit of the lead through the corner. But we'll see what kind of momentum the 43 has, and he's going to still take the lead on lap number 5. Top 4 transferring directly to your A main. And these cars are starting to spread out just a little bit. That 23 is going to tuck in behind the leader. Well, certainly doesn't want to wreck, doesn't want to end up in a position you'll have to go through the B-main. So with just a lap to go coming up here, 1 lap to go. SENKOW is looking really good. Dive to the inside. He's going to try to make it a bit of a battle here at the end. Let's see what's going to happen. Got quite a bit of speed there when SENKOW went up the track. He's going to do a slide job, but the 43 is going to make a smart move back to the inside. And wow, what a finish. What a finish for the 43 of Gareth SENKOW. Second place going to the number 23 of Chris Peters. Brennan Westover getting in there as well. That was a heck of a finish. Nice to see those slide jobs happening in these heat races. That was a heck of a good race. We're going to move on to heat number 3. Heat number 3, we got a total of 6 cars as well. And starting on the front rows, the number 4 of Cameron Brown. Number 4 of Cameron Brown. He races modified in real life. And number 5 of Thomas Kennedy on the outside front row of him. On the second row inside is the number 14 of Steve Bowman. And on the outside of him is the number 12 of Jeff Rempel. In the 5th starting position is the number 8 of Tyler Dell, who has won a few races here or there on this series. And Derek Robinson in the 818 will start at the back of heat number 3. So 6 cars, top 4 transfer into the A main, top 3 are inverted, and everybody else is going to go to the B main. I want to welcome all our viewers on our Facebook page as well. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We hope you're enjoying our coverage of the Cool Down iRacing series. If you happen to like what we have to offer, you can check out our YouTube page. If you're not on it right now, you can see all sorts of highlights from 2020, as well as past racing videos, all the way back to 1986 Emo Speedway videos. But we're going to go green flag for heat number 3 for Cameron Brown and Thomas Kennedy. Cameron Brown with the early lead. He's going to slide up, and here comes Kennedy on the inside of number 5. Side by side going to turn number 3. Still battling for the lead. Kennedy's going to get a spot of the point in that ordeal. And he's going to get it again. A little bit of confusion in turn 1 and 2 with Cameron Brown. And now we have the number 14 diving to the inside, moves into the second spot. The 12 and the 14 challenging here. Michael 3 wide into turn number 1. Oh no, number 14 and the number 4 get involved. To me, it looked like the 14 might have gone up and did not clear the 4 car. We're going to see what the race director has to say about that replay and see what happened. Not a lot of space there. Oof, that's a tough call to make. So we got a, I don't know if our race director's still in my channel right now, but it doesn't look like it. Too close to call. Also want to mention that we have someone on the YouTube saying that the announcer is not as loud as the cars. Just letting you know. So hopefully, if it's only a limited issue, but maybe if I get a little closer to the mic. All right, we're lined back up. 6 cars restarting, green flag. Green flag for the number 5 on the outside. Battling 2 wide for second place for the number 12 and the number 8 of Jeff Rempel and Tyler Dell. Halfway done this final heat race of tonight. Dell to the inside, moving to second spot. He's going to slide all the way up in front of Rempel, and that's going to put him into the wall. Rempel back into second spot. Meanwhile, the leader's pulling away for now, but Rempel, a huge run into number 3. And now he's going to hold that spot by a couple car lengths over the number 8. Number 5 in the lead, 12 in second of Rempel, Dell in third, and it looks like Bowman is now in fourth once again. Top 4 transfer to the A-main. Five is all by himself. Kennedy all by himself with 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go for the number 5. Second to the 12. And it looks like your top 4 is going to be determined here. Brown and Robinson are going to have to go to the B main and see if they can gain some positions in the A. Number 5 of Kennedy, your final heat winner. Rempel second. I think the number 14 might have scooped Dell on the last corner. Moving along pretty quick here. Well, let's take a look at our B main. The number 001 of Patrick Davis is going to start on the front row inside. On the outside, the number 1 of Dave Gerling. In the second row inside, the number 4 of Cameron Brown. On the outside of the name is the number 10 of Tony Bachhoven, who was in the first heat race and had an incident. And the number 99 of Don Ashton, starting in the 5th position. And on the back row, the number 818 of Derek Robinson and Bailey Cousins, starting in the number 7 and the 7th position. So your B main coming up next. It will be 12 laps. Drivers will get 1 reset, and it is iRacing as well as manual cautions. Caution laps are not going to count in this race. It's someone else than Bailey driving? Is it his father? So Bailey Cousins' father, which is the substitute driver for Bailey Cousins, which explains so many things in terms of the driving style going on out there, because we know that the real Bailey Cousins doesn't drive like that. But his father instead. Hi, Dan. Welcome. All right, our B main of 7 street stocks. Patrick Davis in the 001 and Dave Gerling in the number 1. All right, green flag. Here we go. Patrick Davis with the early lead. going into turn number 1. Still has it battling out in second place there. Cameron Brown moving up into first into turn number 4. Is he going to hold it? No, he's not. Davis is going to lead this first lap. But Brown back to the inside coming into turn number 1. Side by side with the 001 coming out of 2, but it's going to be the 001 into turn 3. Brown battling out on the inside. This track is so wide, it's hard to even know who's there. He slides up to the top. Patrick Davis is going to lead the next lap. What a battle for the top 2 of Brown and Davis. Top 2 with Gerling in 3rd. Winner of this B-main is going to start in the 13th position, which is the highest position you can get in this B-main. Whoever finishes last is going to start at the back of the field. Oh, the 4 and the 001 get together on the front stretch. Davis still leading this race. Patrick Davis doing a phenomenal job up front in the 001. Second spot to Brown, being challenged on the inside by the number 1 of Gerling. Davis looking really good out there. Track's looking great. Up towards the wall a little bit for Brown, but holds on to second. Halfway through this B main event. Davis, Brown, and Gerling, your top 3. Not much movement in the top 3 other than a little bit of a challenge by Gerling, but it's not enough. He can get up to the back bumper, but he is not able to make a pass as Patrick Davis continues to lead. Gerling, if he keeps working at it, might have a shot at second place, but needs to stay off the number 4 as he slides up the track. But able to hold a good line to the bottom. The number 10 looking really good as well, but not gaining anything on the top 3. Sharp looking car in the 001. Nice yellow rims there. The number 1 gets into the side of the front stretch wall. And number 4, Brown, almost lost it and cut down in front of the 1. Now we got a challenge for the lead again by the number 4. He's going to slide up to the middle of the track and stay behind the 001. Couple laps to go. 2 laps to go for the 001 of Patrick Davis. Davis with 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go for Patrick Davis. No challenge right now from the number 4, although a huge gap between second and third. Here he goes. Oh no. A mistake by Patrick Davis is going to give Brown the opportunity to win this one. Is it going to be enough though? To the line, it's going to be the number 4 of Cameron Brown. What a finish in that last lap. I don't know what happened with Patrick Davis coming into turn 3, but it looked like something happened there. And the number 4 of Cameron Brown, I can only imagine the result difference on that, but it could not have been by very much. Let's take a look at the results here. Patrick Davis lost by 0.048. So almost 5/100ths of a second. That's how close it was to finish that. Unfortunate deal for Pat Davis, who led the majority of that race. Every lap, basically, except for the most important lap. So we'll see what he can do in this A main as we get ready and lined up for our feature event. All right. Hopefully our race director adjusted the loudness of the cars so you can hear me a little better. And if he didn't, well, that's not my problem. But he just told me he did. That's nice. So hopefully that's working out a little better for everybody. If not, just let us know, make a comment, because we want to improve this experience as much as you want to enjoy it. Front row is going to be the number 12 of Jeff Rempel. And to the outside is the number 23 of Chris Peters. Front row, Jeff Rempel and Chris Peters. Second row on the inside is the number 48 of Jerome GUYOT, or GUYOT. Thomas Kennedy on the outside of the second row, Thomas Kennedy. And the 43 of Gareth SENKOW on the inside. In the third row, on the outside third row is the number 16 of BRYAN DORGE. And on the next row is the number 33 of SHAWN KLASSEN. On the outside of him is the number 75 of Nick Lennert. And Steve Bowman in the number 14, starting in the 9th position. In the 10th position is the number 19 of Max Wozni. And the number 88 of Brendan Westover in number 11. In position 11. In the number 8 of Tyler Dell will be starting 12th, outside 6th row. Cameron Brown, the number 4, starting 13th, inside 7th row. On the outside of that is the 001 of Patrick Davis in 14th to start. And the number 1 of Dave Gerling in 15th. And 16th is going to be the number 10 of Tony Bachhoven. Bailey Cousins in 17th, his father actually. And in 18th and 19th is Derek Robinson and Don Ashton. Green flag is out. Here we go. 40 laps, 40-minute time limit if we go that far. Here we go. Early lead by Jeff Rempel. Oh no, we got an incident with Max Wozni towards the back. Caution most likely going to come out. Let's see. We're going to stay green. Staying green. Lap number 1's complete. Oh, now caution's done. Did we wait until that lap was completed? Guess so. Unfortunate deal for the number 19 of Wozni. So he's bounced around and bounced off a couple different cars. And we'll take a look at a replay of the action of what happened. Yeah, it looks like the 19 ended up hitting the inside barrier and caught up a whole whack-a-mole of drivers. Unfortunate deal. Well, we're going to get them lined back up again. Let's even get some more laps in. It's been a good first night overall, though. Couple incidents, but overall, really, really good racing for a first night back. Now, these drivers have been practicing for the last couple weeks. And if you weren't on earlier, I mentioned that they've been trying different cars so we can provide a couple different types of races to show you a broadcast to you. But right now in the mods, it hasn't been looking so good. I logged on to see how things were, and I heard it was a pretty rough B main this past Sunday. So we're going to be sticking with the street stocks for now, because we know that they're slower class, a heavier class. Everyone's kind of used to it, but we really hope to bring some of these higher classes in the near future. So we got a lot of learners, but we've seen a lot of improvements, and we hope that continues. We're going to go green flag this time around. They're already bumping and grinding. Green flag for the number 12 of Jeff Rempel, who had a really good start. But the 48 of Jerome GUYOT is going to be on the inside, but he slides back. Doesn't look like there's much speed on the inside right now. And Chris Peters challenging 3 wide with GUYOT and Kennedy. Some really good racing mid-pack with Patrick Davis, who's running a middle lane and staying there and gaining a bit of ground. Looking really good. Well, someone's up against the wall. Can't quite see the number from my view, but he keeps it going. Battle for second place with the 23 and 5. impressive. Look at that battle with the 23 and 5. That's Chris Peters and Thomas Kennedy. Blinked out for a quick second, but he's back on track. He's on the front stretch, running in the 6th position. On the outside, the number 43, fighting with the 48 and the 8. Cars are spread out a little bit, but not the pack with the 48, 8, 33, and the 16 and 43. They're still side by side, but it's all Rempel running a smooth line. But look at this, the 23 wants to take a look on the inside. Not going to be enough, and the 5's going to battle with the 23 once again. Rempel hopes they keep fighting because that's going to keep him in the lead. Oh, a little bit of a slip by Rempel, but Peters is not going to be able to make a move on the outside. Getting between a car and the outside wall is not going to be easy. Caution is out. Really good green flag run in our first feature of the year for the season. We're 8 laps in our second caution. I didn't see, could be debris on the track. I'm not sure. We're going to slow them up. Looks like the 7 slid up into the wall. That's the father of Bailey Cousins. He's had a few issues sliding up into the wall tonight. Lots of damage on that number 7. I'm not surprised. The number 43, a little bit of connection issue going on, but he still seems to be okay overall. But what a battle with the 5 and the 23. Chris Peters and Thomas Kennedy battling it out. It's exactly what Jeff Rempel wants to see so that he can focus on his marks and not have to look in the mirror, but I'm most certainly sure he'll have to look in that mirror more and more as these laps get going. We're going to be a third of the way through once we start going green. And complete another lap. We'll be about a third of the way through this race. Dan recommending the low line to these drivers. Well, the low line hasn't been doing quite as much as you think it should. We're going to find out as this track dries out how much different lanes on this racetrack are going to do. 3 wide already, almost 4 wide coming into turn 1 around the middle of the pack. The 48 up against the wall keeps it going. 3 wide for the 6th, 7th, and 8th positions. Looks like the number 5 to the bottom again. He's going to get freight trained. Beats it off the number 16. Now the 23 is, oh, we got another caution. Caution out again. On the bottom of turn number 2, there's a car. I'm not sure what happened there either. I actually have a really high up view over the track from one corner of 3 and 4. So when they get to the far side of 1 and 2, I can't quite see. And I try to move around with my camera a little bit here. What you see on the broadcast is not exactly what I see. I see it very differently. I don't get this cool graphics and replays. So I have to kind of deal with limited perspective. So if it looks like or sounds like I'm not quite sure what happened, that's probably because I didn't quite see it. But I will most certainly relay the best information possible from my vantage point. There's lots of pictures being taken on the front stretch, according to my view, though. Thanks again so much for joining us. Really appreciate it, especially our first race of the year. And these drivers really appreciate your support for iRacing and what they do here. And your participation as a fan really helps keep us motivated to provide such a great program and a great broadcast. I want to thank Chris Seymour for putting this on and spearheading this. He's got lots of experience in this field, of broadcasting iRacing, and it's just so great to have him on board and what he does throughout the entire summer, providing us with pay-per-view and race replay of all our real-life racing as well. So thank you so much to Chris Seymour and your producing skills on iRacing as well as cooldown.tv. So thank you once again, everybody, for joining us, and we hope to have you again when we do this next week. So every Thursday is our plan to race these street stocks. We're going to get ready to go green coming out of turn number 4. Jeff Rempel with another good start. BRYAN DORGE has now moved into second spot, challenging for the lead. The O-line looks a little slick on the very bottom. Oh, the 23 hits the wall hard. Few hit the wall hard. We got a rollover, and the number 1 of Dave Gerling towards the back. Bit of a battle there, and Gerling's going to be the odd person out of this one. Caution on lap 11. Lap 11, three wide battle on those. Those restarts are tough. We might end up going single file here, possibly single file, just to make sure we can get some more of these laps complete, because as you know, those 2 wide restarts, you can turn into 3 wide pretty quick. The number 43 having to go into the pits. Nick Lenert's going to the end of the line for causing the caution on lap number 11. We're going to see the number 43 is going to have to get a reset or a fix of some sort, and we'll see the 43 restart at the back of the field as well with our caution driver of Nick Lenert. There's a few people that decided to go for a ride along the wall. And the wall is a little forgiving, but not super forgiving. So we're just over a third complete on this race. We're going to line them back up 2 by 2 one more time. And we'll see if we can get another green flag run. We had a green flag run of about 8 or 9 laps. It was a heck of a race for second and third with the number 23 and the number 5. But BRYAN DORGE has now pushed himself into the 3rd position. You can see the number 16 car, and it looked like he might be able to fight for the lead here. Rempel, who's a veteran on iRacing and has been very successful in the Super Trucks in Winnipeg as we go green flag racing again. You know, he's going to be a tough competitor to beat here. So we'll see if Rempel can maintain this lead and even pull away from the field. Side by side, we got a bit of an incident with GUYOT and the number 88. Brendan Westover cautions out once again. Had such a good run early on. Want to thank everyone for joining the chat as well on YouTube. It's the most active chat we've had for a while. So really appreciate your comments. And if you want to cheer on your favorite driver or a shout out or anything like that, just let us know in the chat and I can definitely say a few words. Or if you have any questions, just let me know and I'll get those answers for you as best I can. So I want to make this interactive and it'd be great. Pontiac Firebird. What about Pontiac Firebird? Is it a favorite of mine? I don't know. They look cool. So we're gonna. It looks like we're gonna go single file this time. Single file restart. We'll see if we can get a bit of a run going here. It's gonna be one more caution lap. As we line this up, track's looking really slick now, but you can see a really dark line of racing on the outside. And you can see actually where it slicks off and you don't see as much rubber. That's where drivers are actually sliding into the wall a little bit. I'm not sure what these cars are based off of. I think they're off a Camaro. I think the Camaro type, it's got a Camaro nose anyway. I'm not... We are going green flag again. And they look like a Camaro almost type of body. Based on the nose and then the way the back folds into the spoiler and the roof line. 23, second spot again. The 16's falling back a little bit, but staying to the inside. 23 gets into the wall. Yeah, I think it's based off the Camaro. Oh no, the 23 into the wall, bounces back down to the 5, and the 23 back into the wall again. Tyler Dell's going to take advantage of this. 3 wide for third now. Dorge, Dell, and the 23 of Chris Peters, who made a mistake coming out of turn number 2. And he's lost a bunch of positions, running in 5th with a challenger for that position. We got to deal with Dave Gerling and the 001. Caution is out. We had a good run of a few laps, 4 laps, but not enough to warrant a really good long run. And just a little bit of a deal there on the backstretch. Someone clipping Patrick Davis. And we'll take a look at that replay in just a minute. I've run this I've run this track a couple times. It is a lot of fun, but it most certainly becomes hectic when it dries out. We're going to go single file. For another restart. Halfway done this race. And 17 minutes into it of the 40 minutes allotted. We have 17 cars left in this race. Started with 19. And we're going to go green this time round. Pace truck pulls off, and here we go. Green flag for the number 12 of Jeff Rempel, who's led pretty much every lap in this first feature of Season 3 on the Cool Down iRacing Series. Kennedy challenging for first as much as he can, but not enough. Let's see. Oh, he goes to the inside. Inside, coming out of turn number 4. Stays off the left rear panel of Rempel, and is going to take the lead, sliding up. Side by side, coming out of turn number 2. Dorge into third. Rempel retakes the lead. Early challenge by the number 5. But it's not enough. Dell on the inside trying to gain on third. Can't do it. Chris Peters to the inside. Nope. Decides to stay on the outside. Now he goes to the inside coming into turn number 1. George, the number 5, all up the wall. He's going to lose it, but he doesn't hit the 16. He's going to lose second spot. Second spot is now Brian Dorge. Brian Dorge is going to have an opportunity to challenge for the lead. 3 wide for 4th, 5th, and 6th. With Dell, Peters, and Westover. But Peters slides up. Dell regains 4th spot. Caution is out once again. Really good run of 4 laps and a challenge for the lead. It did not pan out for the number 5. Kennedy now going to restart on the inside of the second row and maybe dive to the bottom into turn number 1 on the next restart. Who knows? But another caution. Our 5th caution, I think, of the night. And the next racing event we have in real life that I know of in this area, that I know of, although there may be others, I don't officially know, but I do know that the Stay in Kenora 100 at Lake of the Woods Speedway will be February 14th It'll be the 4th annual, actually, and that's a single-cylinder enduro and a twin-cylinder shootout. And the plan is to be running them again. That is actually a really fun event. And Chris Seymour, Cool Down Racing Video Productions, has been there over the last 3 years that we've had it, and you can actually check those out on the Cool Down YouTube channel and watch those videos. And it's been a heck of a fun series, this Day in Canova 100. Over the last few years, it's grown significantly. We had 5 sleds the first year, and we had 17 in just the enduro alone this past February. So there seems to be a lot of interest, and we're expecting to max out that field. So that's going to be fun to watch at Lake of the Woods Speedway for that enduro. We're going to go back to racing, though, on the iRacing series. And what a weird restart that just happened there. There's a pile of cars, but they're all going in the same direction. Oh, sideways. Brendan Moran sideways in front. A couple other people curling. There's a rollover. There's just, oh no, it just was not a great start. Not a great start at all. The lights are really starting to shine on this track as the sun has set in the west. All right, we're going to take a look and see who's at fault for that one. Brandon Westover is going to the back of the pack for this caution. Could have been a lot worse with a lot more cars, but being involved, but luckily it was only a few. Yeah, it looks like the 88. I get the replay a little bit later than everybody else. So, 88. Well, hope you've been enjoying the coverage tonight. And we hope that you'll be back for more next week again. Ten laps to go, green flag. Here we are. Jeff Rempel leading once again, but Brian Dorge back into second as the number 5 gets into the wall, but gets a little bit of momentum as well. Oh no, the 16 and the 5 get together. 5's going to stay low. It's really starting to dry up on the outside, so here comes Dell. Dell to the inside. He's going to pass for 3rd. He's going to pass for 2nd. But he's going to slide up the racetrack. Too much momentum, not enough grip. And Dell still looks like he's going to hold on to 3rd coming into turn number 3. Yep, number 8 into 3rd. We haven't talked much about Dell other than a couple mentions here or there, but here he is challenging in the top 4 with the number 5 of Kennedy. And here comes the 48 and 001. Looks like the 001 slid up and clipped the 48. We are under another caution with the 001. And the 48 of Guillot. And Guillot has disconnected. We won't be seeing Guillot anymore tonight. We're going to line them back up once again. And see what happens. Looks like the 14's gone into the pits. Find out what's wrong with that car. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 cars on the track, and I think we have a couple in the pits. Starting to get a bit of a shorter field here. Patrick Davis is going to go to the back of the pack for causing the caution on lap 23. D. Bowman's car is too badly damaged. It is going to be and is going to retire early on this race, so we will see Steve next week. Pace truck pulls off. Green flag. Single file restart. And Rempel once again is so good on the restarts. Gaining a good car length on coming into turn number 1. All Rempel. All Rempel all night. George in a much stronger second place now. Before he was kind of in and out, but he is starting to look good now. If he can keep maintaining what he's doing, he might have a shot at this race. With 5 laps to go, Rempel holding strong, but it might be like the B main. One little mistake can go from the penthouse to the outhouse. Just like that. DORGE is going to look for a run. I think he's going to dive behind for a while, get some momentum, wait for a mistake, and see if he can make a move for that position to take the lead or just the win. You can lead all the laps you want, but if you don't lead the last one, you are not going to win. You've watched Days of Thunder as much as I have. It's the one thing you have to do to win a race is to finish it. All right, Rempel still looking good. Caution out again with just 3 laps to go. Not as many slide jobs tonight than what I saw last season, season 2. Both races actually at Eldora, season 1 and season 2, had so many slide jobs. Jerome GUYOT we called the slide job master. And but tonight I think I only saw 1 real impressive slide job, maybe a couple small attempts, but overall it's the high line has been the line to run all night, and as a result the drivers just cannot seem to gain too many positions. We've seen some jostling in this race, but overall it's been pretty stable. But let's take a look at where some of our drivers are at and from where they started. Tyler Dell in the number 8 started in the 12th position and is currently running 4th. So some great movement there. Brian George started 6th and is in 2nd, but Jeff Rempel started on the pole, still in 1st. Thomas Kennedy hasn't moved much, started 4th, is in 3rd. Chris Peters hasn't moved much, 2nd, has fallen back to 5th. Sean Clausen, 7th, is running now 6th. Nick Lenert started 8th and is 7th. Not a ton of movement. The only other driver I see here has moved a lot further back in the field are drivers like Dave Erling from 15th to 9th, 19th to 11th for Don Ashton, who's gained 8 positions, but of course there's only a few 13 cars left in this race, so 14 cars left in this race, so he's really only a couple positions up. But in terms of actual moving up, passing positions, the real leader is Tyler Dell. Green flag. Here we go for the last few laps. Patrick Davis has withdrawn from this race. And here we go. Just a couple laps to go for Jeff Rempel. Does Brian George have anything for the leader? With 2 laps to go. Here we go, 2 laps. Left for the number 12 of Jeff Rempel. Dell tries to do a slide job, but is just losing positions. We're going to come up to 1 lap to go. Here's a slide job by the number 5 to get in front of the 16. He does it. But can he maintain the speed? No. Looks like George is going to get this one. Rempel's all by himself. A slide job by Dell, trying to gain the last position or 2. 5's going to go in between both of them. Move back into 2nd. Can he do it? Can he maintain that spot? We have a car that's gone sideways. I think we're going to stay green to the checkered. Here we go. Your winner's going to be Jeff Rempel. 2nd place, who's it going to be? It's going to be Kennedy. Then the 16 of Brian George, Tyler Dell, And it looks like Chris Peters going to round out your top 5. A heck of a finish in 2nd to 5th. But it was all Jeff Rempel this entire race. We're going to actually have a chat with the top 3 finishers in just a moment. So sit tight, and we're going to have a conversation with your winner and 2nd and 3rd place drivers and see how it was for them first night back out on the Cool Down iRacing series. Once again, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for your participation on both Facebook as well as on YouTube. And for those of you that are watching my stream on twitch.tv for participating in our program tonight. So just if you want to hear some more, hear what these drivers have to say, how it was tonight, just stick around. Otherwise, if you're heading out to go do something else in your house or abroad, I don't know where you are, then we will catch you next week, same time, same place. Check us out on YouTube as well as on Facebook at Cool Down Racing Video Productions or cooldown.tv to check out all the race coverage of 2020. And we have our top 3. 3rd place of a certain driver who could have been 3rd, could have been 2nd, could have been 3rd, could have been 2nd, and Brian Dorge, who started 6th. And boy, what a battle for you to show up in that top 3 and then just trying to maintain it, let alone trying to challenge Jeff. It looked hard from where I was watching. Did it feel pretty hard to challenge for that with Rempel?
Yeah, it was pretty hard to kind of keep it under control and try and keep my composure. Just tried to run my line. I got into the wall a couple times. That top line's pretty brutal to run. Try and keep up to Jeff and stay fast. And meanwhile, trying to defend off the slide jobs coming from the inside from the guys behind.
Did you feel, you kind of stayed high for the most part? Was it just one of those things where you're just like, there's no way you're going to gain anything by cutting low and maybe doing a slide job, or did you just feel like it would be too much of a risk to do that?
On a couple of the restarts, I tried to stay down low in the kind of a bit of the moisture right next to the wall, but you just don't get enough of a run exiting the corners and the guys kind of freight train you. So I also didn't want to just kind of huck it in front of everyone. So I tried to keep it clean.
Who would you like to thank for being able to participate?
I'll thank my wife because she lets me spend all this time out here. And I'll thank you guys and Chris and Jeff and all the guys who host this thing and organize everything. And just thanks to you guys for putting it on.
Well, no problem. And we love having you. So Brian Dorge, your 3rd place finisher. Now moving up into 2nd here, Thomas Kennedy, who started 4th and finished 2nd, but you were sometimes 5th and almost 6th a few times. Hit the wall. Looked like you were going to roll it over. You dived to the bottom. You tried to challenge Jeff a few times. Walk us through your race.
Yeah, when I got up to 2nd there, I felt like I was a little bit faster than Jeff, and then I caught myself chasing myself, trying to go faster and faster in the corners, and I actually got up in 2 wheels and rode the back straightaway fence there for a little bit, and then that screwed me up. And then I think I fell back to 4th or 5th, and then I made my way back up to 3rd, and pretty much the whole race stayed there until I had my chances to try and dive down Brian. I didn't have those chances until pretty much the last lap, and I prevailed and finished 2nd.
When you were further back in 4th or 5th, were you more nervous about other people maybe catching up and maybe door slamming you or something? Because it looked pretty clean and pretty comfortable being in the 2nd spot on your own for the most part. But does things kind of get on your nerves? Do you get a little bit of anxiety when you do fall back those few positions and you realize there could be a huge crowd right behind you?
Well, yeah, like when I was in 2nd there, Jeff and I seemed to keep a steady pace from everybody else. And once I fell back to 4th or 5th there, it was just a matter of keeping my composure and, just waiting for the right time to make the perfect slide job. Not that it's hard to make perfect slide jobs in this track because everybody's pretty much running high. Just pick and choose where I'm going to go and hope I don't get in a crash. And there's a few times where I got sideways down the back straightaway from making contact with Brian or Chris Peters, but I kept her forward and we finished.
Anything else you'd like to mention? Anyone to thank?
No, just thanks to you guys for hosting all this. And we look forward to Sunday's race and Thursday next week.
All right. Well, thank you so much for participating once again, and we look forward to having you next week. But hey, the star of the show once again, the number 12 of Jeff Rempel. Jeff, how do you do it?
Start on the pole and get clean air.
What? No, has nothing to do with that, right? You know what? You show a incredible amount of control when you're out there, and even when you seem to make those little mistakes, very few people are able to capitalize on that. How do you maintain that level of focus, especially on this type of scenario? You know, in real life, you get the sound, the feel in your butt on the in the car, the mud flying in the whole bit, and you know, you'd think that would be easier for you to do than this, but you look just as solid here as you do in real life. What's your secret?
Oh, I don't know. I screwed up many times on here, but I got a lot of laps on this game, I guess you'd call it. So maybe that helps.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember racing on asphalt with you once, and I'm pretty sure you lapped me about 10 laps in, and I had some experience. I think it was Iowa. So it does not surprise me, and may to some of our audience, to see that kind of consistency out there when you think of some of the other drivers who are battling for position. But to me, I don't know, one of the smoothest drivers out there, and congratulations on that win. Who would you like to thank?
You guys for putting us on, and the people watching, and hope to keep doing it.
Well, there you have it. Your top three finishers and your star of the night, your feature winner of Jeff Rempel and number 12. And we most certainly look forward to him coming back next week as well. And thank you so much to all our participants tonight. Some of you may have had a more difficult night than others, but most certainly had some fun. So once again, thanks everybody, and have yourselves a great week. And we'll see you next Thursday night on the Cool Down iRacing Street Stock Series.